Take the roller coaster.
All right, here we are. Lunch therapy. Yeah, the music's loud. Everything's loud, but we got to bring it down. Bring it down. Love the music and the Black Panther. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of animated animals, but we've got one behind me here, and I believe it's Todd Lee's puppy. Holy there. Not sure what to think about Groundhog Day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day? Wow, hasn't every day been Groundhog Day for the past year? Groundhog year. Will the groundhog have a mask on tomorrow? He's going to go right back in. He is going to go right back in. Let's face it. He's going to take one look at us with our masks on and be like, I am out of here. I am going right back in for another year. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But we know what it's like. We might follow him in there. It might get crowded down there in the groundhog tunnels. So it's Moin Day. It's Monday here in Lunch Therapy. I when I said that, I was like, is it Monday? I don't even know. Holy everybody. For those of you who have never been to Lunch Therapy, here's an explanation. This is a place to help you keep sane. It's a break from the news cycle. It's a pit stop in the rat race. It's a place to laugh, relax, possibly get some therapy by an unlicensed comedian. Not only am I an unlicensed therapist, I am an unlicensed comedian. And the only things that I have a license to do are drive and act. Everything else is just outside the bounds of professionalism, I guess. Let's see. Groundhogs are actually marmots. Yes, we learned that last week on Lunch Therapy. We learned that groundhogs are actually marmots. So if you're, and marmots are not always groundhogs. So there you go. Matt Wright is here. Take your terrier hiking in the Cascades and you will witness a real life game of whack-a-marmot. Okay. For those of you that haven't been here before, you can chat on Facebook and you can chat on YouTube, and sometimes I put it on the screen. And Jose is here. Hum, hum, hum. He's saying humming because we're the cult of the hummingbirds. If anybody needs explanation on that, go to the cult of the hummingbirds on Twitter. But let's get into the show because we've got to do some breathing, and I've got some guests here. Yes, I have some guests here from the theater community in Los Angeles. We have a extremely vibrant theater community here in Los Angeles, and everybody knows that except the people from New York. They disagree because they're very snobby, I think. For all you people out there from New York. There, I said it, you're snobby. Every year, the Hollywood Fringe Festival presents about 400 plays in 18 days, so that's a lot of theater going on here. You can imagine all the actors. Today, though, we have two people from the Theater of Note, which is a long-standing theater company in Los Angeles. Theater of Note originally stood for New One-Act Theater Ensemble, but they do more than that, too. Wait, that was true? I'm not sure see, the comments are delayed, so I have no idea what he's saying. Do the people in Los Angeles know about the vibrant theater community? Yes, they do. They don't always attend, but they certainly know about it. All right, we're going into the show now. Here's the intro. Hey, Guy Fly, how's your eye? All right, here we are. We got a comment there from Hauk. He says, puppy. Yeah, that was Todd Lee's puppy. I didn't talk too much about it. One of our viewers, oftentimes I have viewers send in videos of their animals or of their environment. There's like behind me here, Chuck Goldsmith sent this in. He's one of our viewers. And this is the beach. In case you don't know what that is the beach. Where? I'm not sure. Maybe Chuck can tell us. But this is the portion of the show where we breathe. And you can breathe throughout the show too, but this is the place where we intentionally breathe. Breathe them if you got them. Got them. Lungs, I mean. They're good. They're good to have. So in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Long Beach. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at Long Beach. Thanks, Chuck. So that time when I took the air in, I had already had air in my lungs, so it was very difficult to take it in. So let the air out. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Sometimes I think this is the portion of the show to calm me down because I get a little bit excited when the show starts. Some people think that you can't breathe out your toes, but it takes practice. You can start by breathing out your mouth. It's like hyperbolic stretching. You have to do it a lot before you can do the splits. I don't know what hyperbolic stretching is, but I see it a lot. Long Beach. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. Here's a night shot. I think this is a UFO. Pretty frightening, but I think it's a UFO. All right, one more breath. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. You got me on that one. You got me. I'd like to give an award to my lungs for perseverance. Exactly. And also, as many of you know, Perseverance is the name of the lander that's going to land on Mars on February 18th, I believe. So Perseverance for the lungs, Perseverance for the breathing. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. I blew it. So anyway, let's get on with the guests because they're waiting in the waiting room with my sidekick, Boney. Yes. Okay, our guests. Our guests are Samantha Squeri and Alysha Brady. They're members of Theater of Note, like I said before. My colleague, Jaxie Boyd, introduced us, and she's a super great actress. I had a picture of her. Oh, here she is. There she is. That's her playing a role. I don't think that's just her at the dinner table, but it could be. It could be an action shot of her. Thanksgiving, perhaps. I imagine she'll be in the chat room. That's what we're hoping. Joel is doing hyperbolic stretching. That's why I mentioned it. I've been doing hyperbolic stretching because I can't touch my toes. I never have been able to. So I'm trying it out. There's a weird Russian guy teaching me how to do it. And so that I can finally join the cheerleading squad. That's right. Matt says, we've heard you laugh, Kamala. That takes some laughs. Yeah, lungs. Right. She's got some serious lungs. I wish she was in the audience right now vocally because it would be uproarious laughter. Jaxie, there she is. She has shown up. Did you like the picture that I used for you, Jaxie? Does that represent you? It's pretty good. I think it looks good. Anyway, so let's move on to our live guests. They are here. They're waiting patiently in the green room. Here we go.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh my God, Boney, could you please get the show going? No. Hey, there they are. Well, thanks for being so patient while we were breathing. You got this applause. Enjoy it. A lot of us, performers, we love it. We love applause. And so we miss it.
Hard with the virtual theater. You don't get applause. You're just like hoping people are watching.
No, it's just like this.
Like this.
Which is lovely in and of itself.
That's what people do on Zoom, right?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that
Yay,
that
taxi.
that was from This Is Us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Action shot, like we thought. Todd Lee says, "Wait, you can't touch your toes?" No, I cannot. No inflexible shaming here. Okay, let's get down to business. Alysha, Samantha, welcome to the show. Thank you for being on Lunch Therapy. This show, like I was saying before, is a little like carpool karaoke. We go on a journey, but we don't get in a car. We just go. Both of you, okay, first of all, I want to start with Samantha. Where are you from?
I'm originally from New Jersey, which is where I actually am right now. But I just moved to LA about two and a half years ago. So relatively new, but yeah, excited to be here. And I get I lived in New York for a while, so I understand the whole like snobby New York thing.
Yeah.
I get it. But LA does have a good theater scene.
So you're a little New York snobby too, just because you lived there for a little
A
while?
little bit. Yeah. It rubs off.
It rubs off instantly. You live there for like a month and you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, nothing's like New York. But Alysha, you lived in London, right? Or England. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, both. I'm sort of a mutt. My dad's American, and my mum's English, and I've lived in California. I've lived in London. I've lived in LA, obviously. It's where I am now. But my dad's side of the family are actually from New Jersey. So that's something else.
The New
Samantha and I
Jersey
have in common.
contingency is here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. So I wanted to ask you this before I forget. You were trained in England as an actor, right?
I was. I went to my dream school, the London Academy, and I went there for a 2-year postgraduate without having been a postgraduate. They let me sneak in, which was wonderful. Absolutely loved every second of it. I also did Shakespeare training in the summer course a couple of years before that. And yeah, I lived there for a while, and then I came to LA.
How different is the training there from the training in Los Angeles? Do you know?
Honestly, it depends on the teachers, and depends on what you mesh with. I would say over here there is a big push for BAs and such like that, you know, having some type of solidified thing. Whereas in the UK, it's more about the name of where you've gone to and the weight of that. I was lucky to go to one of the top schools. There is a BA equivalent, but it's not really a BA, as it were. And I find that over here, there's a lot of push for Meisner training. That sort of ebbs and flows in the UK, whether or not they use it. It doesn't personally work for me, but they allowed us to explore all of the ways to see what did work for you and what was good for your toolbox. So it's in there if I need it.
What acting training works for you? Is there a specific one?
There isn't really a specific one.
What you said, having a toolbox, it's a lot of times you expose yourself to a lot of different things and then you use whatever works for you. But what do you find
That's exactly right.
mostly works for you?
Mostly I have to take the text and break it down for me what it is that the character says, what is said about the character, to find what the author is trying to get across. And then I work from there. Sometimes I really won't find the character until I've got like a pair of shoes on. As random as it sounds. But something will happen in those pair of shoes that I'm like, oh, that's it. Or there'll be a voice. With the Ravages, I had to find 2 different voices for myself, but they weren't different, but to me they were different. So it was having 2 different characters that I could step into. There was a way to get into what I was doing, because we get to play 2 characters.
Samantha, tell us what the Ravages is.
Yeah, so the Ravages is a podcast play, which is Theater of Note's first ever podcast play. That's our logo right there.
There it is.
Designed by Doug. He's so wonderful. Thank you, Doug. And it's a story of 2 people, an actor and a stranger, and they meet and go on this journey together. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's like all the genres: horror, love, comedy, like anything you can possibly thriller, anything you can imagine, it's in this play. And it's so wonderfully written in that there are no pronouns and any two actors can play either role. And the whole idea is you flip a coin to determine at the beginning of the play, like who plays which role. So if it's done in person, as it was originally written to, I mean, every night could be different, and the audience sort of like gets to determine how the play goes, which is really cool. So in podcast land, we've tried to make it so we've recorded both versions of it, so the audience can flip the coin to determine which one they want to listen to, and then you can also go back and listen to the other one too.
So there's more than one version of it.
There's two versions. Mm-hmm.
And you
our
flip
two actors,
roles?
Alysha and Max. Yeah.
You do. Oh,
I didn't. They did.
yeah, they did. So Alysha's in it, and who else is in it?
Max Lawrence, who's also amazing, and he's teaching during this hour. Otherwise, he would have been with us.
No, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, and it's coming out on what date? February 14th.
February 14th, Valentine's Day, because it's a love story. So
that's cool.
Really
So
Valentine's Day.
So this is obviously a way that you're kind of reinventing theater for the times, because obviously you have no audience that's in person. What do you do to create an environment auditorially? Because there's no video, right? And there's no live actors. So what do you do?
Yeah. Alysha, do you want to talk to that one? Because that was a fun rehearsal process thing that we had to work through.
Well, it was actually really interesting to rehearse because we ended up, even though we were doing it on Zoom, we ended up turning off our cameras and just listening to the other actor. And it would help both me and Max to create things together. There's a lot to do with breathing. Breathing is very important. So it's lovely that you had the breathing at the beginning. But it helps get across what's happening without telling what's happening. Also, they're going to be using, we actually recorded it live. So although it's not live, it is live.
You recorded all at once.
We did it all at once. We did both ways, live, no real.
Okay, well, we might as well jump to that
how we
video,
acted.
that incredible video that we have.
Oh yeah,
of the live recording. So let's take a look over here.
Ignore my camera work.
Someone is waving at me.
Ignore my boobs.
No, it's my.
This is me watching it with like my script and my.
I'm waving at you. Come over.
And that's the two of them. Are they remote or are they in one place?
They're in their homes.
They're in their homes.
Right now, here, this is me.
Wow.
And we weren't actually looking at each other during any of this. We were just recording
Couldn't
it.
even see each other.
You just look
We
like
could if we wanted to, but
Yeah.
it would have changed
Someone
things.
is
When you
waving
look
at
at
me.
someone,
That's me.
you can
No,
express
it's my-
something easier than if you're not looking at them. So you have to get it across with your voice without the comfort of being like making a face or a gesture or whatever. So it was actually.
I was calling it
like
cheating.
What were you saying?
I call it cheating when they were using the like facial cues. I was like, no, you're cheating. No one's gonna see this.
cheating.
We have to turn the cameras off.
Wow. So you have to consider the whole time that no one's going to be able to see you. So you have to make sure that you communicate what you need to communicate vocally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going
And there
back
are
to
some
here.
dramatic things that happen that we have to get across with our breath. And I don't want to give anything away, but there's things that happen that, actually being at home made it a little bit interesting because I had to write little notes to my neighbors because you can hear everything in this apartment complex and be like, if you hear something that makes you maybe think I'm not okay, totally okay.
Yeah, I would think you'd have to do something. What about sound effects? Are there sound effects in the thing?
Yeah, so that's the exciting thing that Alysha hasn't gotten to hear yet. But we have Hawk actually, who was commenting earlier, is our sound engineer and original music composer who's wonderful. And he's been working through adding sound to the world and sort of creating this world audio landscape kind of thing. And it's really exciting because the whole play is left very vague and up to interpretation, which is why I'm excited that it's an audio play, because I think giving the audience a visual is actually less exciting than letting them create it for themselves. So we've been sort of going through this thing in the acting choices as well as in the audio design of how do you keep it so you give very specific choices that also allow the audience to create their own worlds in their head and what it means for them, as opposed to like pre-prescribing, this is what this looks like and this is what this looks like kind of thing. So
Did you listen to any radio plays to prepare for this?
honestly, I've
You
listened
don't have
to
to say yes.
Oh my God. All the sound effects are legit. I've listened to radio plays previously. I don't think it's anything you get more specifically from this.
Spoiler alert.
From like listening to other ones.
Yeah.
Because I think we want to make it fresh too and feel like something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not particularly.
I used to, when I was a little kid, I had a radio. My parents would make me to go to bed pretty early. So I would listen to these radio dramas like for
That's
hours
cool.
and hours and hours. And it was, it was really, I think it helped me develop my immense talent. For sure. Jaxie. Yeah. I guess there was a spoiler there. Let's act like that didn't happen.
No,
Hopefully
he
you
was
didn't see
being.
it.
No.
Just
He
kidding.
knows how much I love unicorns, and so he's teasing me that he's killed a unicorn. He has not
Yeah.
killed a unicorn. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No animals were harmed in the
So-
making of this.
I'm not saying it really helped me develop my immense talent. What I'm really saying is it helped me develop imagination, because a lot of times,
Absolutely.
and as actors, a lot of times that's one of the tools that we have to use is imagination, especially when you're not even looking at the other person and trying to do a scene. You have to sort of use your imagination. Killing unicorns. There's a whole unicorns thing now. A Death Eater.
Death Eater? No.
Oh,
Hufflepuff, thank you very much.
I knew it. Harry Potter. I put the Harry Potter background up, and all of a sudden, definitely a Slytherin. No, she's a Hufflepuff.
No.
Oh,
She knows I'm a
know that.
Hufflepuff. He's a
Samantha, what are you?
I'm also Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. I am a Hufflepuff as well.
Yay.
One of the things that you and I that we were all talking about before the show is about being an introvert and being in the entertainment industry. You consider yourselves introverts?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I mean, some people have called me an ambivert or an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert. I don't know the difference between any of those, but I know that I get more energy being home with a book, taking some time to myself. That helps me rev up my batteries, as it were, more than being out and about. And it takes somebody kicking me in the bum to get me out of my comfy space. And I'm extroverted when I'm with people I'm comfortable with. I'm outward, I'm chatty, I'm all those things. And I can play an extrovert, which is why I actually love acting so much, because you give me a script with something to say that's not my words, and you let me hide behind a character, and I get to create something there that's not naturally me, and that's why I love it so much. But yeah, my everyday, day to day, I'm definitely the shy, quiet thing in the corner.
And it's also like you put on a mask and you can be whoever you want to be, and you don't have that same.
When I was 5 years old, we were doing a pageant in the UK, like a little not pantomime, but anyway, we did like a little play thing for the adults, and I started bossing all the kids around and moving in places, because one of the girls didn't know her words because she was sick, and she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have been a part of it because she was too sick to know her words, and she didn't know where she was supposed to be. So it was my responsibility as a 5-year-old to guide her around. And my parents were like, what has happened to our daughter? Like, this little tiny thing that hides behind our legs is suddenly guiding this poor child around, making sure she's giving the best performance in the world.
It's hilarious.
So that's me.
It's funny because I do feel like theater gives you the platform with which to be an extrovert, because I'm an introvert as well, and my favorite thing to do in theater world is to be a director, which you'd think that requires like extroversion to be able to boss people
You're
around
like the
that.
leader. Yeah.
But I think it's kind of fun because it's unlike most other things that require other people with being an introvert. Being in theater for me is like, it gives me energy and makes me feel more alive. So while we've been stuck at home, I'm like questioning my introversion because I'm like, oh, I'm stuck at home during quarantine. It's been so boring. But doing this play and like doing theater has given me energy in order to continue to like live my life and do normal things as I need to in like quarantine.
I'm afraid being at home might be encouraging my introversion. You know what I mean? And I don't want to encourage it.
You're never going to go ever again.
Not that being an introvert is bad, because there's so many people in the entertainment industry that are introverts. You know, Steven Spielberg, there's like a ton of them that identify that way. Jack Does is here. He's a horror. He has his own show on YouTube about horror. Jack Does Horror. And he wants to know how you know what you are in the Harry Potter universe.
I'll answer that I took a bunch of quizzes.
Yeah.
But even having taken the quizzes, the hat does take your preference into account. Mm-hmm. And I seem to relate to the Hufflepuff mentality more than any of the others. And all my quizzes said the same thing anyway. So
I took the quiz at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I believe. It's like a website. Mm-hmm. Super cool. And yeah.
The Potterverse. Yeah.
I took all the quizzes, and I have a friend actually who told me that the most Hufflepuff thing I possibly could have done was to keep checking that I'm a Hufflepuff, like, to make sure that I was correct. That's
so funny.
I went to like the tour, the Harry Potter studio tour in England, and we had to like take a picture with your chosen scarf of your house and all that jazz. And I was in line just like double checking, like, am I Hufflepuff? Make sure it's the right one. And she's like, put that away. She's like, you're fine.
I'm on a cusp with astrology. I'm a Libra and a Scorpio, and I can't decide which one I am. And that's a very Libra thing to be, I think. Mm-hmm. Not decide what your sign is. So Todd Lee is saying you could ask Siri or Alexa or Q. Throwing in the whole Star Trek thing, I suppose. It's getting very, okay, so now we're going to have...
Mischievous? Like being naughty?
He's a naughty person.
Tell me I was Slytherin.
No, he's a Slytherin. You can't trust him. So Ravenclaw. Jaxie's a Ravenclaw. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you all a quiz now. It's a pop quiz.
Oh.
Get ready. I warned you a little bit about this. But anybody in the chat room, if you can help them, because this is a quiz of Los Angeles theaters, and we're going to look at the front of a Los Angeles theater, and then we're going to have to come up with the name of it, whatever it's called. And Todd Lee is going to be terrible at this. Libras can touch their toes. Oh, well, then I'm not a Libra, I guess. Definitely a Scorpio. All right, so let's see what Matt says. Oh, dude, he's on the cusp too. Sagittarius. See, now I'm terrible with the abbreviations. What's COR? Corn.
I think it's supposed to be Capricorn.
Capricorn. Thank you. That's
I would say Cap.
If it said Cap,
corn,
then I would be able to do it. I can't. Sagicorn. I get it. It's like a
Got it.
Okay, now we're moving in. We cannot delay anymore. We're moving into this thing. It is the contest. So here we go. All right, here we are. It's called Name That Theater. And it's mostly LA theaters. And, they've already told me that they're maybe not so good at this. So, Sam's only been here for 2 years. I don't know what Alysha's excuse is. She's been here for a while. You might find that you're good at it. But anybody in the chat room that can help out, you have to do it fast, though, because there's such a delay. But there's the first one.
Theater of Note.
Yay!
Oh, yay! So it's tied. I think you said that at the same time. That's Theater of Note. So you get the game, right? Theater of Note. There it is. All right, so now the next one. This one should be kind of easy.
Is that the Kirk
that's the... Yes, Kirk Douglas, sorry.
Kirk Douglas Theater. Now, wait, who said it first? Sam did, right?
She did. Sam did.
Sam. So Sam's winning, I think.
I have to say I'm terrible with names as well.
Oh. I'm bad with names, too. I'm great with theater names, though. How about this one?
It's not the Broadwater, is it? No, that's not Broadwater. What is that?
Now, they're delayed, so they all know. Yeah.
It's not the blank.
I just saw Dan Wingard's here. Hey, Dan Wingard. Maybe you can school them on what theater this is.
I don't know what KDT is.
Oh, that was Kirk Douglas Theater.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody, you know,
I think
abbreviations,
my
because
picture
they're
is blocking
typing, you know,
one
some of them are on their
part,
phones.
That's not the blank.
Okay, I'm
Not
still waiting for
sure.
somebody to chime in on this one.
It's not the actors.
Matt Wright
But I'm
says the
just going
rusty
through a list.
triangle. Dan Wingard,
No, that one.
long time no see. It's great to see you. I hear that you're fantastic in the Susical, the musical that never came out.
He was brilliant. He was so good. He was our Mr. Mayor, and he was just perfect.
Oh, man,
The
well,
world
hopefully
missed something.
it's great to
Damn you,
reconnect with, and you know, maybe that'll come up in the future, right? You got that in your back pocket, right? Susical, the musical.
You never know. I
And
can't
he
believe what
blushes.
they've done.
Astral.
Check that out. Blushing.
It's
All
not-
right, Skylight
No.
Theater. We finally have the right answer
Oh,
from
Skylight.
Genspiration. Nice. Okay, so yes, that is the Skylight Theater.
Move to the bookshop view.
Right, it's right by the bookshop. Looks like it's from Back to the Future Part 2. So there are obviously people that don't live in LA that are just like, what the heck are you guys doing? But there will be some that are not in LA. That's the bonus round. So nobody got that one except Jacksploration. Or Gensploration. All right, this is an easy one.
Is that the one in Pasadena? Is that the Pasadena Playhouse?
It's close, but
You
it's
say
not.
it's easy.
You know Tim Robbins?
Oh.
Remember Tim Robbins? No,
Oh,
probably-
the Actors
The actor?
Center. Or...
He was in a
Yeah.
theater
No,
company.
But it's the
Um,
Actor Center or something? Good lord, I'm terrible.
It's okay. I don't mean to be shaming. It's just fun. We're just having fun here. It doesn't mean
It's like,
anything.
I've been
if
to
you don't know
Pasadena
what this is.
Playhouse.
This is the
I only see Theatre of Note shows. What can I say? That's
yes.
all I need
You're
in my
just
life.
you're a purist. There we go. Jaxie's right. Actors Gang.
Actors Gang. There
It's
we go.
at the Ivy substation, I believe that they used to call it. I don't know.
Ah.
Actors Gang, Gensploration. All right. This is fun. We're just the hosts. Don't even worry about it. We're the hosts. What about this one? Miami Vice the musical. Close. It's definitely close. I like the idea. Is there a Miami Vice musical? There should be. I'm just stalling here.
Help someone.
Okay, this one's downtown. It is. I don't know how to describe it really. It looks like a church,
It does.
but I don't want to give it away. All right, here we go.
Church.
Jesus Saves Theater. All right, we're just gonna go for it. It is the East West Players.
Oh,
There was a
okay.
guess,
Never
The
been
Noise
there,
Within,
so I
which is a good
would not
guess.
I've never been there, but I've heard
East West
such a-
Players, great theater company. Must check it out.
Yeah.
They do really wonderful work. I think it's one of the only equity theaters in town, you know?
Yeah.
All right, next one. How about this one? It's in Burbank.
Oh, that's the
the
Jim
Falcon.
Marshall.
It's the Falcon
Well,
and the
it
Gary
was the
Marshall
Falcon.
Theater. I think
And
it's been
Gary
renamed.
Marshall.
Gary Marshall
It is
Theater.
renamed.
The,
I knew this was Falcon though.
Lots of stuff
That
there.
was created by Gary Marshall, who did Happy Days and Laverne and
Yeah.
Shirley and all the wonderful things. That goes
I
on
actually
and on.
auditioned for them once. They
Did
didn't
you?
choose me, but I did audition, and
Well-
Gary Marshall was in the
Oh,
audience.
really?
So that felt
He's-
really amazing.
He's super cool. He was super cool. Up with People. Here we go. Up with People. This is great. I love this contest so far. How about this one? Where's Jaxie when I need her? And where's
It looks like a
Gensploration?
Mexican restaurant.
It does.
Is
It
it that
probably
one that's
used to
in
be.
the Mexican restaurant?
I don't know, but you know, when I went there last, it didn't look like this. Dan Wingard has the answer. I'm going to reveal it.
Come on, Dan. I bet you have done rehearsals
Fountain
there
Theater.
before. The Fountain,
That's
yes.
That's right. You got it.
Yes.
You nailed it.
See, I've heard all of these names, but I've
done, Dan.
been in LA primarily in COVID times, so they're all online. They don't
Yeah.
have building.
The theaters all look like they used to be churches. Well, you know, church is a form of theater, right? They're La
It's a
Quinta,
form of church.
Fountain, Gensploration got it too. Okay, moving on. How about this one?
Yep, been there.
You've been there. You've been there, right?
It's on Sepulveda, right?
It is. It's on Sepulveda. You got it.
Oh, God. I've
It's
been
not-
there. I know it.
It's not.
Mm.
It's based on something written by Homer?
Odyssey?
What'd you say?
Where's your money when you need him?
Odyssey?
The Odyssey Theater.
Ah,
Dan
that's
Wingard
the-
got it, of course.
I was like, theater ensemble. It's a specific choice of words. I was like, I know which one.
Okay, Odyssey Theater. There it is. All right. This one. I can give you a clue. This
That
one's
is-
on Melrose. And, nobody said it yet. The Simpsons. Dan Wingard gets it
I've
again.
been
He blushes
into this
again
one
because he
too.
knows all of them.
goodness.
I'm gonna
I've
give
been to
you.
this one.
I'm gonna give you
Oh.
a hint. Keanu Reeves never acted there. But you'd think he would. You think he would have.
Oh,
I'm gonna give the chat room one more moment. It's not the Groundlings. It's down the street from the Groundlings.
don't look around then.
Annie Potts is
isn't it?
playing in the Aftermath. In that.
I should just Google it really quickly.
Yeah. No Googling. Here it is. Jaxie nailed it. The Matrix, which is a long-standing theater company in Los Angeles with a great reputation, just like Theater of Note.
You're probably the worst people to be playing this game.
The non-Keanu. It's okay. It's like you're the hosts. So Matrix Theater. No, I'm well. Let's see. The Keanu Not. I like that. Yeah, Dan got it as well. The
Dan will
court.
get them all.
Okay, so now let's see where we are in this thing. Because here's a really difficult one. Great theater though. The thing is, the theaters move around, and this one has been in a lot of different places. And this is currently, before the pandemic, this is where it was. Matrix. Yeah, that is an awesome name for a theater. It's cool. It was named The Matrix before the movie, even. All right, I'm going to give you this one because this is tough, but it's a long-standing theater company in Los Angeles. Is anybody? Dan Wingard, Gensploration. This is over in Atwater Village. Currently.
Tip of tongue.
Okay, here it goes.
The NTS?
Oh, Echo. Well, there's a couple different spaces in here, so this is a tough one. I don't know if this is even fair.
It's not the Echo. Is it the Shakespeare? It's not the Shakespeare one because that's. Oh,
Last time I was there, I saw a play with Alina Phelan, who's also in Theater of Note on the board, I believe. It was a fantastic play, and it is.
well, then I would have said the Echo, and then if I'm wrong, then that's not what it is.
Someone said, "Is it the set to The Office?" I actually did a show where they did The Office. I did, what was it called? To Tell the Truth. And somebody pointed out to the parking lot, one of the PAs were, look out there. That's the parking lot from The Office. And it was. Isn't that weird? So this is Open Fist Theater. You know Open Fist? Yeah.
See, I've heard of all these.
No, of course.
The
Now you
visual
know what they look
doesn't
like.
match.
Okay, this one's tough. This one's out in Venice. Anybody get it? This one's been around for a long time. I think Orson Bean was the one who established this. Actor. No Googling.
Not
Here it is. Here it
Just
is.
staring into the distance.
This is called the Pacific Resonance
Pacific
Theater.
Resonance.
Yeah, and Dan Wingard gets it
I
again.
wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
He gets it again. All right, there's
Dan
only one
Wingard,
more LA
you get
theater.
the shirt.
I think there's only one more.
Yeah,
This
didn't
one.
want to get the shirt.
What about this one?
Good lord, no clue.
The theater? That's a lovely building.
Isn't it beautiful? It's downtown Los Angeles. This
Gorgeous.
has a lot
Like
of
a
history in it. A lot of plays have been performed here, but not a lot of people know about it these days. I'm going to let Dan or Jackson.
Wingard win it.
I mean, a lot. We've been here longer than you all have. Let's face it. we have some history in these things. And Noise Within. Noise Within is in Glendale. This one's downtown. Jack says the White House. Dan doesn't even know. Dan doesn't even know.
Oh, what?
I was gonna say, there's like a bank on the Universal lot.
It looks like
and
a bank.
like that.
It does. It is the Los Angeles Theater Center, or also called the
didn't know that.
LATC.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
It's pretty.
Okay.
Center Theater Group.
That's
That's
Center
specifically
Theater,
the what's the one? It's not the Amundsen, it's the other one.
It's named after a person. Very instrumental in Los Angeles theater. There
I've
it
been
is.
to so many places.
It's the Mark Taper Forum.
Paper. There you go.
Yeah,
Mark
thank
Taper
you, Dan.
All right, so
It's like,
now
I
we're
think it's
moving
the
on
three, it's not the
to
two that I have
the
name
next round, which is places.
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
That's the Coliseum in Rome. All right, that was good. Now there's the Coliseum. This one, okay.
The Globe.
The Globe.
Globe. Old
There you go.
Globe.
That's in London. The Globe.
No, I've not seen them do the theatre.
What
that
about
way.
this one? This is in New York.
Oh, that's the public.
Public
yeah.
theater.
There you
See, the snobs know about the theaters outside of LA. So I guess we know now. What about this one?
Chinese man.
Theater,
This is
aka
Chinese
That's
theater.
outside of. That's not outside of
the
LA.
name for it?
That's not
It's in
outside of
Hollywood.
LA. Yeah.
It's around the corner from
It's
there.
outside of the theater world, I suppose. Yeah, so that's used to be called Man's Chinese, Grauman's Chinese. Now it's called TCL. I don't know what TCL stands for. Anyway, thanks for playing that. Who won? I think that
Dan.
Dan
Dan
Wingard
Wingard.
won the T-shirt. I think Dan Wingard wins.
Dan Wingard.
I'm going to be sending him a
Definitely wins.
T-shirt for sure. All right, so now we're just going to move on to the end of the show because we've reached the end of the show. Let's just go into this here and just wrap it. Dan is the winner.
Bunny.
Let's hear it for Dan. Dan wins a lunch therapy T-shirt. Yeah. Congratulations, Dan. Jaxie was a close second. Well, I don't know, man. You know, I think everybody can. Gensploration did quite well as well. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Dan. You said you liked bunnies, so I've got a bunny here eating a piece of bread.
Love it.
I don't think it's good for
Love
you.
it.
All
No,
right.
bunnies shouldn't have bread.
No, they probably shouldn't.
Is
So
it
tell
an apple?
me,
It could be an apple.
tell me one more thing. I want to ask you one more thing about theater company, and maybe you can explain this to me. I was involved in a theater company in Chicago, or I worked there for a couple of years, called Steppenwolf, and I felt like they really had the ensemble thing down. Somehow they made that work. How do you make a theater company work with all these actors, and how do you decide who's in plays, and what are the benefits of being in a theater company in Los Angeles? It's a big question.
Well, Note is very different to other theatre companies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually associate artistic director in another theatre company. They do it a different way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let Samantha talk about Note because she's actually on the artistic management committee, which
All
is a
right,
big
great.
deal.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah, so the cool thing about Note is it's a democratic ensemble. So the members vote on pretty much all policies and rules, and they vote on the season that we do the following year. So it's really cool in that everyone has a voice and everyone is involved in choosing the plays as well that even make it to what we call like the hopper, which are the ones that we choose from in order to have a season. So it's a very long process, which is why sometimes it's frustrating sometimes because there is a process and it like has to pass round 1, round 2, round 3 before it will even be considered for our season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really cool because everyone has a say and a voice. So you can be as involved as you want. You can go to every single play reading and vote on every single one, or you can go to like 1 or 2 and then trust that the other members of your company will pick good plays for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the cool thing about Note, I think, is there's no like monetary requirement either to be a member of a theater company, which sometimes there is.
Yeah.
Whereas we believe in like sweat equity. So
Wow.
we ask for an hourly commitment to the theater every month.
Just an
that's,
hour
like,
a month?
Hourly. So there's like a couple, I think
Okay.
in normal
I was
times,
gonna say,
it's like
that's not
12 hours.
Yeah,
COVID
okay.
times has been a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's you can be like taking tickets at the box office. You can be reading plays. You can be doing like running the light board or buying snacks. I don't know. Like there's a million different ways to get hours.
Buying snacks. I don't think buying
Right,
snacks
exactly.
is a job.
That's what happens. Someone's got to do it.
Buying
Sell for
snacks.
concession. Sell for concession.
What do you mean I put 16 hours in of eating Skittles last week?
Not eating, buying.
Eating, buying.
But yes, it's
Oh,
really
you
cool
mean
'cause
buying them
also
for the
family.
concession stand? I
Yes,
see.
yes,
I thought you were
yes.
at the concession stand. I think I'll have the Twizzlers.
That would be nice. That'd be fun. Yeah, but I think Note, it feels a lot like a family. And being new to LA, Note was like the only. I reached out to a whole bunch of theater companies. A lot of the pictures that you threw up on there, and Note was the only one that responded to me saying like, "We're always looking for new members." Especially, I'm not an actor, so I like stage managed, and then I did props, and now I directed something, and you can get as involved as you want to in the company and make it your own, which is really exciting.
Do you also workshop plays there?
Yeah, we have a new development series called Voices of Note, which actually we sort of relaunched this year during COVID, where we give playwrights 20 hours of Note resources, be it Zoom, be it actors, anything that they want in order to like let them work on their play. And we're excited to hopefully have some of those playwrights like come into the Note fold and do like full stage, main stage things with us once we can reopen our doors again too. So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's full thing.
Do you feel constrained by the space at all? Because it's a small theater, right? It's a black box.
It's small. I think because it's a black box, like possibilities are limitless. I think we're realistic about the kind of plays that we can do in a black box. Like you're not about to do Les Mis like turntable style theater in a black box of Note size. I mean, we probably could figure it out. I would, like leave it to Note and they'd make Les Mis the best version you've ever seen in this black box.
Probably.
The last show I produced there and was also in was Marion, or The True Tale of Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And there was tons of sword fighting, tons of actors. And it was the way that we had positioned everyone and the way that we had done with the director, obviously, and producers. We had done everything. We could get, I think there was like 12 or 6, like Mulholland Christmas Carol is like a 20-person cast, and we've done that many times. So you can get a lot out of just a little. You just have to use your imagination.
Yeah,
and be very okay with being very intimate in a very tiny green room.
It's very
yeah. Oh my gosh, so small.
Tiny green room.
Spilling into the back.
I was in a play there years ago, and it was tiny. It was super tiny in the backstage area.
Get very close very quickly.
Let's see what Dan says. I love swag. T-shirt, please. If you ask, I do have one. You're getting one, Dan. You're gonna have to send me your address though through carrier pigeon or whatever, however you want to send it to me. Facebook, email.
I'm just gonna put this bunny in the Ravages.
That's the bunny. All right. Shout out to the Public Works Theater Program up here in Seattle. Oh, up in Seattle they have. Oh. Yeah. A lot of the great plays are workshopped in these theaters, and a lot of the great movies too are workshopped in some of these theaters. Bunny looks ferocious like the one in the Holy Grail. Matt says, love it. Sounds like you're running this like YATC. Matt, Yakima. Anybody know what? Why? It's another quiz. Is
it Young Actors Theatre Chicago or something?
I don't know. He's going to tell us, though, I'm sure. All right. Linda Graves says she misses Note. She misses Note.
Hi, Linda.
It's larger on it. One of the other things, too, about theater is it's, you are exciting people's imagination in the audience as well. So you don't always need to have, like, literal things. Don't ask Joel to critique the sword fighting. Yeah, don't ask me. It's a long story. Dressing room can include the alley.
That is very true. And it does quite often.
Young Americans Theater Company up in Seattle. Okay. All right. Thank you, Matt, for that input. All right. We're going to have to end the show. We end the show here on Lunch Therapy with a dance break. I've got a great rendition here of a song. Let's get into the beginning of this part here. Let's see where it is. Dance break. All right, here we are. We got the puppies again. These are 2 wonderful puppies up in the Washington State area. Thank you, Todd Lee, for providing that. Here's the dance break. I have forgotten all the details of it, so it's gonna be on the screen. Let's get in here. This guy's a wonderful performer. I found him out on the World Wide Web, and then I contacted him and said, hey, can we play this on the show? And he said, absolutely. He is from Denmark, and he is covering a song. Let's get into it. There it is. If I Needed You. Andreas Jacobsen. Andreas Jacobsen and Mina May. Thanks for being on the show today, both of you.
If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I'd swim the seas for to ease your pain. Well, the night's forlorn and the morning's born and the morning
Thanks for being here, Dan.
shines with
It's great to see you virtually.
You will miss sunrise if you close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two.
Thanks, Linda, for being here. Thanks, Jaxie, for being here as well and for connecting us for this experience. And we're looking forward to the show, February 14th, where all podcasts can be downloaded. Thanks, Jaxie. Great job in the contest as well, Jaxie. I think you'll probably have to get a t-shirt as well. Loretta, great to see you, Loretta.
with me now, since I showed her how to lay her lily
Thanks, Matt.
hands in mine. Loop and Lil agree, she's a sight to see, a treasure for the poor to find. If I needed you,
Yeah, it's nice. This is the therapeutic part.
to me,
Thanks,
would you
Gensploration.
come to me for to ease my pain?
All right, this has been Lunch Therapy, and we will see you all. Wednesday is the next Lunch Therapy show. This week, we are going to have also Marty Croft from Sid and Marty Croft on the show. Don't know when exactly. Hard to beat Towns Van Sant. Somehow I missed this. Where can you watch and see the show? I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Theaterofnote.com/the Ravages. All the links. Thank you so much for having me.